friends, and welcome to ScreenVomit, the only movie podcast for normal people. I'm, of course, your host, Kayla. Here with me is my best pal, Collie J.
Sleepy time, Collie J. Hey, quack, quack, babies. It's sleepy time, Collie.
Not sleepy time, Collie.
Oh, why not?
Because we're bringing in Coffee Collie.
Boing. Hell yeah. How you doing?
What are we doing? How you doings in the pod now?
That's mix it up.
We probably should say how I'm doing because, folks, I've got a whole thing going on over here right now, and it might come through the pod. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah.
In a shit that only and always happens to me fashion, Some kind of explosion has occurred in my neighborhood, and there's an abandoned building that has a very loud alarm going off, and there's all kinds of firefighters, and then the neighbors are excited. They're running up and down the stairs. So I don't know if all that noise is going to come into the podcast, but it might. So
Kayla is
a magnet for chaos.
Yeah, well, everyone knows someone who they feel complain too much about shit too much, and they come into work and there's always something going on. But it's usually bullshit, you know? You're the only person I've met that's had receipts and been there was a fire outside my apartment, right outside my window for a while. It's all fine, but there was a fire. And right now, it's
that is true. Yeah. My house was on fire a few months ago. That is a true story.
It's you'd have, a Hank Aaron level record of bad luck.
Yeah.
All time great bad luck haver.
Hey, all stars, baby. But you gotta look on the bright side. And
you got a kick-ass pod?
Yeah.
You got
I have the #1 movie podcast, so
you got the #1
everything
movie
else,
podcast.
It's in the wash.
And what else you got? You have a badass
That's all I have.
Recording rig.
I certainly have a recording rig. The badass is questionable.
Hey, what we watched this week?
Wait, I didn't ask how you're doing.
Oh, me? Moi? Old Collie J? Oh,
you asked how I was doing.
Oh, I'm doing just fine. Things are good.
Yeah?
I've been playing through Spider-Man on the PlayStation 4. I have mixed feelings about how much Spider-Man loves
the cops. Yeah.
Loves the cops. And I don't like how much playing the game makes me feel canceled. Because
I've watched a few movies like that recently. You ever watch a movie that makes you feel canceled?
Yes. I'd never played a game that made me feel canceled in this way. I've played very depraved games and gory and everything. But this is the quips. He's literally just there's nothing I love more than stopping a drug deal. It's no! What? Be normal. What do you mean?
Be cool, man.
What the fuck? That's your favorite crime to stop? The non-violent one? Oh my god. So that's how I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm doing fine. Things are actually going very well.
Hell yeah.
And hey, I think besides a Sleepy Time episode, this is also a love episode because we're recording the day before Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So
our Valentine's episode will, of course, be Baby Teeth with Jackson Easinga.
That is a good Valentine's Day movie. There's love in it. Perfect segue.
Yeah.
The movie we watched this week is all about love. Kinda. If you think about it. It can be.
Okay. The movie we watched this week is the 2019 film The Platform, or the Spanish title El Hoyo.
Which is Spanish for what?
The hole.
My hole!
Collin. So
I've been saving that.
I was going to say this is going to be a Collie Pro level episode, but once you yelled my hole, then we really know it's going to be a Collie Pro level episode.
Oh, hell yeah. yeah, hell yeah.
As far as cast goes in this movie, there's really only one person that I recognized from anything, just because this is a Spanish language movie. Most of the actors, all of the actors, some would say, are only in like Spanish stuff that just doesn't reach here.
Sure.
So the one person that I recognized was the main guy, Ivan Masagoy, who was in Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, okay.
What's our critic scores?
Cricket scores? Rotten Tomatoes. We coming out 80%.
80 tomato?
80 to... Damn, that's good. 80 to... We got an 80 tomato. Hey, this movie's certified fresh. 80 tomato. Cut all of that. Terrible. Metacritic, 73%. And our crazy Google users? 78%.
Pretty good.
Everyone likes this movie.
Yeah, pretty good all around.
Yeah.
So, in lieu of a trailer, because this is a Spanish language movie, I'll just read a little synopsis.
Okay.
A mysterious place, an indescribable prison, a deep hole, an unknown number of levels, 2 inmates living on each level, a descending platform containing food for all of them, an inhuman fight for survival, but also an opportunity for solidarity.
Hell yeah. This movie is not subtle with
its commentary.
Its themes and commentary.
Yeah.
It is very it spells it out for you broadly, and I personally believe that's really my only major critique.
That it bonks you over the head too hard?
Yeah. I appreciate some subtlety, but by the same token, I read about this movie that it received like a big boom for viewing due to COVID. Like, it was put on Netflix around the time that everyone started staying in.
Yeah.
And you know what? This movie spreads a good message. And if a bunch of people are going to watch it, I am fine if it's going to bonk people over the head with it. Because some people may not get that message if they have to look into subtlety.
True. There are a couple things you can find, like, if you look deeper. But, yeah, the general message, yeah, it is pretty obvio.
Obvio. Yeah. And I do appreciate that, though, because once you start thinking about themes of American films, what do we see a lot of? We see a lot of single people succeeding. We see a lot of people thriving due to individuality. Superheroes, you know? Like, these special people, because this, or they worked hard, or whatever, they're now our saviors. And while that's all well and good, and a lot of times it can make for great cinema, there's not always a lot of movies about solidarity. I'd say outside of, like, sports cinema, which is kind of a different solidarity, there's not a lot of movies about really working together for a common cause. Obviously, obvio, you could throw 1,000 movies at me. I'm painting with broad strokes here. But it really is always refreshing to me to watch a movie that the whole point of it is just like, isn't it easier if we work on this together? Like, if we worked on this together to make sure that everyone had enough. I love that. I'm a big sap for it.
Yeah.
Because that's my fucking ideology.
Collie's a big commie.
I am a Marxist, and this movie has strong Marxist themes about what we feel right about the world. Ugh, I love it. Let's get into it.
All right, so this was actually initially written as a play that never got produced, but the 2 playwriters helped develop this into a screenplay with the director. They spent 2 years on rewriting their script to end up with this screenplay.
Wow.
And mainly because they were fighting so much between the director and the playwrights. They just could not agree on stuff. They had conflicts regarding both the core and the anecdotal elements, and they almost just trashed the whole thing several times. So it is a miracle that it even made it here.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny. So, as I said, this is a Spanish language film. On Netflix, it gives you the option for dubs, for having a dubbed film. The dubs auto-played for me. That's just what came up when I pushed play.
Oh, really?
And I was like, I thought this was a Spanish film. This is weird. And then I realized it was dubs when obviously it didn't exactly match up like how dubs do. And I feel like the dubs were unhinged before I turned them off. It sounded like Sam Elliott
Cowboy
reading
type,
for the old man. Just like that low, like, southern drawl voice. And then you turn it off and he's like, obvio.
Oh
unhinged.
my god. Yeah.
So I recommend not playing the dubs.
Yeah.
As always, I would say.
Just read. I know.
Come on. All right, so we start with two men. Our main guy's name is Goreng, and he wakes up in a concrete cell marked with the number 48. Mm-hmm. And he also has a cellmate, and we kind of establish that Goreng is new to being in the cell, and his cellmate, Trimagasi, has been there for a while. I don't think we know how long exactly, but
yeah,
he's the old one. And the cellmate is kind of describing where they are, what's going on a little bit, and he refers to the place that they are as a vertical self-management center, aka the pit.
Yeah.
They say there's the ones above, the ones below, and the ones who fall. So they're in this sort of, it's essentially like a jail. Sort of.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah. But no guards, no masters.
That's true. I don't know. It's like rehab is what the closest thing I can consider it to, in the sense that people are both brought there consensually and non-consensually. Yes. Very few rehabs do non-consensual rehab, but like...
It is rehab in that sense, but in the sense of like the physical space, it's more like a prison.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we find out that Goreng has come here voluntarily, which completely baffles Trimagasi. And rightfully so. Like, and this brings out a really interesting characteristic about Goreng, I feel, because his explanation for why he comes in is what? He wants to quit smoking and read.
He signs up voluntarily for a 6-month stay to, quit smoking and to read a book, Don Quixote.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, that is.
But he will end up with an accredited degree after that 6 months.
Not worth it.
No. And you only get to bring one item with you into this space, and what he chose as his item was that book, Don Quixote.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
But, like, jerk-off motion, you know?
So the idea behind his sort of mind frame or whatever, his trajectory, is that when he starts in this space, he thinks it's going to be a walk in the park. He checked himself in. He's thinking, I'm going to chill for 6 months, read this book, yada, yada.
Yeah.
But over time, he starts coming face to face with the reality that things are much more grim than that.
Yeah, it's one of the worst places you could ever fucking be.
Yeah, and the director said they wanted to add that as another metaphor about how we enter the world sheltered by our parents, but slowly learn that life is a fight for survival.
You know what?
There you go. What?
That's true. That's a weird... I guess that tracks.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know life was hard for a long time.
I unfortunately basically knew before I was born.
Yes, I was going to say, I'm very sorry.
My mom always says that I knew what was coming to me, so I didn't want to come out of the womb. I was 11 days late, and she was in labor for 30 hours, so...
Yeah, it's called being a balla.
I didn't want to come out because I knew what was coming. So anyway, we've talked about how I'm cursed.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, these men are kind of just stuck here. So even though he's checked himself in voluntarily, there doesn't ever seem to be a way that he can check himself out voluntarily.
No.
And I saw a comparison between this and Exterminating Angel for that reason as well, which is a movie I brought up in our Relaxer episode.
Yeah.
Not to bring up Relaxer on every single episode we ever do, but I have stated.
We will. It's contractual now.
Yeah.
But, no, I do remember that title.
Yeah, where those people get stuck in a room and you don't really know why. They're just stuck there and also fighting for survival.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that movie Cube.
I don't know that movie.
Yeah, okay, it is, it suck rocks, you know?
Okay.
But it is good. Like, definitely watch Cube. Just conceptually, it's similar to this in that it's people who wake up in a place and are trying to, like, survive. Well, in that one, they're trying to get out, kinda.
Cube 2, Hypercube.
I've heard the sequels to Cube are very bad, but now that I do want to watch a movie called Hypercube.
I know.
When did it come out?
2002.
God
of course.
Damn it. Anyway.
So the old man, we later find out, got here because he got mad at an infomercial and threw his TV out the window.
Yep.
Which landed on some guy outside and killed the guy.
Go to jail for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So now he's in the pit, and his one item that he brought is the knife from the infomercial that made him so pissed off, which is a self-sharpening knife.
It is such a good... Who is this actor? What is his name? Zorion Iguelior. That's my best attempt. He portrays Trimagasi. He's outstanding. He is,
yeah.
Teeny tiny,
Mm-hmm.
but terrifying. Even before you see the knife, I don't know if at this point they have discussed Trimagasi's past levels in the in the platform, not in the cube.
Not yet. We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay. But he's terrifying as this tiny little guy.
He's terrifying, but he's also, like, friendly. Like, he's not meant to be evil or, like, menacing. He's really just fighting for his own survival, like anyone else. So we have to describe the space that they're in, I think.
Yes.
So this pit, or vertical self-management center, or platform, or whatever you want to call this place, starts at level 0 at the top, and then goes down from there. So every level is down, where most building floors are numbered the opposite way, right? Like, 1 is at the bottom and then goes up. The same numbering system that's used in this movie is also used in the Circles of Hell in Dante's Inferno. So it's a Dante's Inferno reference.
Oh.
Inhabitants of the third circle, reserved for gluttons, are punished for their greed and appetite on earth and hoard what they desire at the expense of others in Dante's Inferno.
Oh.
We'll see that play in here in a second.
Yeah.
But I want to hit some other notes before we get to that. So it is like a multi-tiered thing, but every level is the same appearance-wise. They're all just like these concrete rooms with a missing square in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think they have a shower. They just have like a toilet and a sink.
They're shitting where they're eating.
Yeah. And for the sets, only 2 tiers of concrete cells were actually built, and the appearance of the many tiers of cells going above and below were added in post. I thought that's kind of cool.
That does make sense. Yeah, they only ever talk 1 level up.
Yeah, even 80% of the film they shot only on 1 of those levels, too.
Sure.
So when they needed to shoot a camera pointing down, that's when they went up to level 2. That's pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
They use lighting and framing and colors to create the sort of like oppressive, overwhelming atmosphere, too.
Yeah. The way color and sound kind of work together in this movie is really... It dictates the mood really well.
Yeah, and the director kind of likened it to the sea. So, like, the blues on the upper levels where people are... I guess it represents more of, like, a higher class. They get more things.
Yeah.
They're better off. They're more like turquoise and, bold like that. And then when you get the further and further down, they're more dark and cold and less saturated blues.
Yeah,
down
really
there.
kind of start to get just darker.
Yeah.
Feels bleaker.
More dark and more colorless, yeah.
Yeah.
And at first, the shots, just like the framing is all pretty tight on the characters, but the more of their stories that are revealed, then the more the room is revealed at the same time. So then by the time you know everything about the character, that's when you really see the 4 walls that they're stuck in, and you can feel the space kind of being stuck around you.
No, I definitely feel that. Yeah.
At first they leave it kind of ambiguous what the space is really like or why they're there even.
Yeah, it's just... This is a movie that you really have to trust. It is not all... Oh, boy. I would not say it's comfortable to watch, but...
This is a horror movie.
It's horror? This is, like, inspirational to me.
I mean, it's, like, politically messaged horror.
It is.
But it is horror.
Yeah, because it gets... It's not
dark.
That bad. People say it's worse than it is. That's my... Get that out of the way.
So, next we have to talk about the food system.
Yes.
Kind of the whole story of all these people revolves around their relationship with getting food.
Yep.
So the food descends on the platform that starts at level 0 and goes down. At first, we don't know how many levels there are, and we don't actually find out for real for a long time.
Pretty much the end, yeah.
But we get some ideas along the way. So it starts at level 0 with a lavish spread of just all the most beautiful, like...
decadent.
Yes, decadent. That's a great word. Kind of food that you can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And they treated food visually as like another character in the story because it's aesthetically the opposite of everything going on in the prison.
Yeah. Yes.
They used a warmer palette of colors for the food. It's all, very warm and rich colors. It's on this lavish, fancy tableware, just very beautiful spread of food. And that is just exactly opposite of what's happening in the cells.
Yeah. And throughout the movie, we see cuts of people making the food, and it's always with such great care.
Yes, very tender, gentle,
the perfect food every fucking day.
And so this food all starts off on this one platform that starts at the top and works its way down and stops for just a period of time at each level. The people on each level only have the time that platform is at their level to consume their food for the day, which of course leads to chaos.
Sure.
They also can't keep any food beyond the time that the platform leaves because the cell is heated or cooled to fatal temperatures if anyone tries to keep any of the food for later. So they only have that amount of time to eat. Yeah.
Okay. I feel like we have the whole thing set now. Like, I feel like everything's set and now I can pop off a little. This is where, why would people go crazy about this, right?
Yes.
Because ostensibly, like, people at level 1 get their chance first. You wake up to this food. You realize it's going to go away. You're just going to eat it. And that's your time to eat for the day. Yeah, you're just going to go fucking wild. And if you get first dibs, you're going to go fucking wild. The way people react under distress, isolation, extreme conditions that put them in this primal state. We see a lot of cuts of just hands grabbing food in the most disgusting way, just ripping and tearing at layers of cake and, lobster and fucking
bowls of rice and shit. Yeah,
not ever thinking about anyone below them. It's these conditions that they're brought into that make them blind to any kind of empathy or identification of a connection with a person below them, solely because in that moment they're eating above the people below them. They're better because the people above them were better. And it's really fucking bleak, and it's really some dark shit, but I do appreciate the way the movie handles it, and is very, like I said, it's blunt, but I think it serves it. Overall, it's a critique and a compliment. I love and hate it. Love-hate relationship.
It is just, at the moment, real. I mean, that is what's happening. The people at the top have all the wealth, all the things they could ever want, and don't think about the people down on the lower levels.
No, it is a good visualization of the way of, think of people who make $20 an hour complaining about a $15 minimum wage. They're only complaining because they have that point of power. They are afraid of losing it. They've been down there. They made it up to a higher level. They don't want to go back down. Going back down would mean losing their safe, secure place. And so it's simping for the level above you because they have what you want. In this case, food. In real world case, money,
Or any other type of stuff too. I mean, money's
any
not
commodity.
The only thing. Since this came out right before COVID, they were saying think about toilet paper, face masks, whatever. It's all the same.
Just fuck you. And that takes back to the individualism that is posited so often in American film that makes a difference in people's minds. The movies we take in affect our brains and the way we think about things. Our perceptions of jobs and what people do in this world come a lot of times from the media we consume, not real world evidence or anything. I don't know what a fucking general does. I can tell you what a general does in movies, though.
Hangs out with Shaq.
That's on TV, though. I wonder if we could get the general to sponsor us. I'd take that money. I want to be on the commercials.
I just want to hang with Shaq, even though he's a cop. Ugh, we don't have to talk about
polarizing. Yeah, Shaq is polarizing.
He's good and bad.
Yeah, the duality of Shaq.
I had this quote from the director that I thought was really good.
Yeah.
He said, "Unfortunately, we're the most miserable species that has ever set foot on this planet, and I don't think we will change. We're fearful animals, and if you give some power to someone who has lived their entire lives in fear, they're likely to become a motherfucker."
Yeah.
And that's what we see in this movie.
Yeah.
To an extent, yeah.
The opposites of solidarity or competition. Like, are we going to work together to eat? Or is it like a zero-sum game? Are you going to look at it that way?
Mm-hmm. And the system kind of perpetuates itself because what we find out is, so more about how this place works, is that you move cells each month with the same cellmate as long as they live through the month, I guess. You can do whatever you want while you're in there. At the beginning of the movie, the deepest that we know that this place goes is 132 levels because the old man has been on that level.
Yeah.
Other than that, nobody really knows how deep this thing is. He shares his experience of being on that level 132, because when they wake up, what did we say, level 48? So being on level 132 after that same platform of food has gone down over 100 levels, right? There is no food left by that point.
It's just dishes, if that.
Yeah, it's broken glass, basically. And so you have to go 30 days without eating or figure out some other way because all the people above you have taken more than their share, then the people at the bottom starve.
Yeah.
So when the next month, those people who were at the bottom end up at higher levels, they're thinking, well, the people before let me starve. So first
Fuck
of all,
that.
now I'm starving and I want to eat everything because I've been starving for 30 days. But secondly, then yeah, fuck them. They're down there now. They can starve.
Yeah.
In that way, the system is self-perpetuating.
Oh, absolutely. It's the logic like, oh, we'll give it to you, but we're going to create this manufactured scarcity and panic and fear. It doesn't have to be like this.
And there's a very, defined class system because of the platforms. They are
Absolutely.
very, you cannot talk to the people above you and fuck the people below you.
Because they're below you, yeah.
Yeah.
You're better than them. It really bums me out. This first, when fucking Trimagasi pisses on the...
I was thinking about that too, yeah.
On the guys below. Just shit like that. There's a couple instances of it that just, I don't know. I have fucking indoctrinated myself with Marxism. I live and breathe it, and I firmly believe that the only actual way for any human progress to occur is through cooperation, through solidarity, through making sure that everyone else is all right. And it's a very fucking simple message, and to see very blatant shitting on that, literally, in some points.
Yeah.
It riled me up, baby. I got riled up.
Colin was moshing.
Yeah, I'm jumping around the room. I'm listening to Blink-182.
God. Not even propaganda or something.
New stuff only. Gimme Skiba years only, baby.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so they are chilling when a body falls down the hole.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's...
I rewound it 5 times.
I mean, it's great, but it's disturbing.
Yeah.
And soon after that, a lady comes down riding this platform. Her name's Miharu, which means... to guard, to watch over, and to open one's eyes wide in Japanese.
She rocks.
And she does rock. And she's looking for her son, so she rides this platform down every month, kills her cellmate so that she might be placed with her son next time. Because her son is in here somewhere, and they've been separated. And it's implied that she probably is the one who threw the man down the pit earlier, just so that she'd be able to be placed with her son the next time that they wake up.
Yeah. It's not great optics, you know? She's badass, but she is a ruthless killer.
Yeah, but so at first, the ruthlessness of what she's doing, because when she rides down to the next level, I mean, she straight up kills the people on the next level.
Well...
too. They try and get her, yeah.
Yeah, they attempt to sexually assault her. It's implied.
But the farther we get in the movie, we kind of understand where the depravity comes from. But at first, it seems a little more shocking because we're just like, oh, these two nice guys chilling in their cell. Like,
totally.
Yeah. And we do get a little bit of a montage of the two guys before they leave this level. They do naked yoga together. Mm-hmm. They just hanging out, reading books.
It's guys chilling.
It was the lighthouse.
It is the lighthouse. It is, oh, yes. It is two people just chilling in the most non-chill setting.
Yeah, just boys being dudes.
Yeah, we love it.
So at the end of the month, they get gassed, and this happens on every level. Everyone gets gassed to sleep. And
everyone gets gassed on every level.
Yeah, and when they wake up, they're on a new level.
We've all been there.
Woke up on a new level.
Well, we got so gassed that we woke up on a new level.
Oh my god. When they wake up this next time, Goreng is tied down because they have woken up on level 171.
Not great.
No. You can hear people screaming all around them, waking up to find what level they are also on.
Yeah.
So Trimagasi, the old man roommate, has tied down Goreng so that he won't hurt him when he goes crazy from the hunger. I mean, this is his second month, I guess, at this point. He's new to the system and trying to fight for survival and stuff. He's like, look, I've tied you down. No big deal. We're never going to get food way down here. Mm-hmm. So when we get hungry, I'll just cut off pieces of your legs for us to eat. No big deal.
Look,
I'll be nice.
I remember the first time I watched this. I had seen this movie several months ago, and then again today. First time I remember like being just like, yeah, fuck you, Trimagasi. Today I was more like, you know, I get it. Like, again, I just saw conditions create this insanity. And it's almost like, while Trimagasi is explaining it, he is also, like, it feels like he understands, like, I am just looking out for myself. I am just going to live, and this is way too fucked up of a situation for me to process, so I'm just going to eat you. Sorry. Mm-hmm. I'm really sorry. And it's really charming, almost, that he's forthcoming with it, to me.
Yeah, the director actually, he really wanted people to watch this on multiple viewings because he said that we all have a little bit of Goreng and a little bit of Trimagasi, and each one of us has to decide which one of them wins our own internal battle, if you can choose. So upon first viewing, when we look at Goreng, we see what we want to be. Mm-hmm. And then when we look at Trimagasi, we see what we are. Right.
What we are sometimes, yep.
So the film is designed to question that the more you watch it, or to question where your place is.
Hell yeah.
Among that.
Me likey.
Trimagasi is in the middle of cutting this man's leg when the lady comes back down on the platform again.
Yeah.
And sees him chopping Goreng's leg. And Goreng tried to help her before when she first came down on the platform. So they have kind of like a good thing going.
Good vibes only.
Yeah. And it's not weird, just good. He tried to help her. That's it.
It's just good vibes.
So she hops off the platform and kills Trimagasi.
Throws him back and then stabs him in the neck. Yeah.
Yeah, and then hands the knife to Goreng so that he gets out of being tied down and everything.
Yeah.
But Trimagasi's ghost does chill out for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, don't worry. We don't get rid of him, folks.
Yeah. There is, like, some humor in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Which I appreciated.
Absolutely.
And apparently, the actor who plays Goreng and the actor who later we'll meet, actually here just in a second, that was the person who did his intake, apparently they are known for their comedic work. Like, they're comedy actors.
Oh.
So even just, like, having them in this film introduced comedy just by nature of them being there. But there was, like, some gags and jokes throughout that were good.
Oh, yeah. You smile. You crack a smile sometimes.
Yeah.
Not at this point, though.
Right after that man dies, we get the gas, and when he wakes up again, Goreng is on level 33 now. So he's back up to where he'll be able to get food again. And he has a new roomie. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty
good.
So he has a new roomie now because his old roomie died. And his new roomie is the person who did his intake when he signed up to go into this place. Mm-hmm. She has also voluntarily committed herself to the pit. And she tells him that there are 200 levels.
Yeah.
So at this point, that is also what we think.
Yeah, it's expanded now.
Yeah, so it's expanded from our previous knowledge. Her one item that she brought was her dog.
Stupid decision.
And we do find out that she has cancer. Why did she commit herself to this place? To die? I don't remember.
She kind of implies that the place is good, like that there is a way to solve it. Like, she wants to try and fix it, is how she looks at it.
But she also was not aware of how bad it was.
Exactly.
Too.
Yeah.
She specifically rooms with Goreng because she sees him as some kind of hero. Like, he'll be able to help the people somehow. Mm-hmm. And she's trying to convince him to create an event that inspires spontaneous solidarity between everyone.
Not a thing.
No. Wish that it were.
It's just, it's a really huh? That's what you're trying to do? Because that's not a thing.
She thinks that she's going to convince people to participate in socialism, basically, or whatever. She starts trying to prepare a plate for the people below her and saying, just eat what's on the plate and then make a plate for the people below you. And if we all do this, we'll all eat. No big deal. But of course, no one will do that.
This is a clear commentary on socialism.
And there are a couple.
Yeah. And it's something that I think a lot of people who call themselves socialists or call themselves leftists or want to move left, we all have to reckon with a little bit. There has to be some brute force. Someone has to tell you what to do, or else not everyone is going to do it.
No, and some people will willingly, and most people will not.
Yes, most people you have to threaten something, which eventually Goreng helps out with.
He threatens the people below them to get them to eat the food on the plate.
Or else he'll shit on them.
Yeah.
Amazing.
She also tells Goreng that the woman who rides the platform doesn't have kids, never had kids, came in alone. Wanting to be, came in alone, wanting to be the Asian Marilyn Monroe, and now she's just a serial killer. The place has turned her.
Huh? That's what I said.
But this lady maybe doesn't know some things, we find out.
No, totally.
As the movie goes on. So when that lady comes down on the platform, she ends up killing this woman's dog.
Yeah.
So after the dog is dead, then this admin lady has depression. Real bad.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It's like a combination of her dog is dead. She didn't realize exactly how depraved and horrifying this pit was that she keeps sending people to.
Yeah, what she signed up for.
And she's worked here for 20 years or whatever. Just I think it's hitting her the horror of all the people she's sent to this place and how bad the conditions were for them.
Yeah.
That she didn't quite realize it was that bad.
Absolutely.
So when they get gassed and they wake up again, they're now on level 202. Which means that they are deeper than she even thought existed. So it's just everything's hitting her and she hangs herself.
Understandably, yeah.
Yeah, understandably. But she left her body there. She didn't jump or anything so that Goreng would have her body to eat when he got hungry because, as we said, level 202, no food's going to make it that far. Also, I should say this film was shot chronologically because the main actor had to lose 30 pounds over the shoot to show his physical deterioration.
Oh.
So over time, he is also losing weight.
Oh, man. I didn't even notice.
I did not either. His time spent on this level is mainly just him chilling with the two ghosts, that lady and his first roommate.
Yeah, it's a pretty quick level, but it's just him going completely insane.
Yeah, and when he gets gassed and wakes up again, he's on level 6, so now he's up top.
Oh, yeah.
And he has a new roomie who is crazy hopeful.
He's on fire.
His one item that he brought was a rope. He thinks he's going to climb out of this place, basically. Yeah. He's trying to rope up 6 levels and get out. But, of course, tell him what happens when he throws the rope up and climbs up.
So he throws the rope up, and, the people above him are, hearing him out, but giggling. And, everyone knows, watching, you're buddy, come on. Wisen up, throws it up, and he starts climbing, and he reaches his hand out. He's like, help me, and then we see a butt with poop coming out of it, and the poop falls onto his face, and he understandably loses his grip, and he kind of slides down, and he almost falls, but Goreng saves him.
Yeah, just another instance of nobody above you is gonna help you. help somebody below them. Yeah.
The people above you aren't interested in helping you get up there. They're lucky they got up there. And they understand that. Which is another aspect that I think is important to bring in. Pretty much everything is fucking luck. It's where you're born. It's all fucking luck.
Yeah.
CEOs aren't incredibly smart or talented or better than you in any way. They're just lucky. They got lucky. Someone had to fill that job at that point, and they happened to be it.
Yeah.
That movie posits this very well. It's, again, over the head. It's just like, you're not better than someone else because you're on level 1. You're only better because you're there for now. But, like, when you move, you're a piece of shit.
You're not better. You just woke up in a good place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all fucking luck. Keep working. I'm not saying that as an excuse to, like, be lazy and not put work in to make things better.
And hey, if any of the normals out there become millionaires, billionaires,
help me out.
You better cut us a check, baby.
Absolutely. We helped you get there. Where would you be without us?
So, because his new roommate is so fit and has so much, like, gusto and wants to help people, believes in God, blah, 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 Goreng tells him, we have to be the people who do something and make sure that everyone gets food.
Yeah.
When he was in that lower level, 202, he timed how long the platform stops at each level, and based on that, calculated there to be about 250 levels. So now we have even a deeper understanding of how deep the pit is. They decide that they're going to ride the platform down and hand out portioned food to people to try and make the food last to those lower levels.
The entire time,
and yes, but they plan on giving out food starting at level 51 because the top 50 levels always eat. They ate yesterday, they'll eat tomorrow. And it's more complicated than they thought it would be.
Surprise, surprise, when it comes to, like, the commodity, people aren't gonna listen if you're standing in their way of it. And this applies so well to socialism, for example. Socialism asks that everyone pitch in their fair share. A lot of people don't want to pitch in their fair share. They think they can do it all on their own. They can take care of themselves. And to an extent, I understand that.
And some people can take care of themselves. That's the thing. When you can, a lot of times you don't even realize why or how other people can't.
Exactly. Like many people, you're just happy you got there.
Yeah.
And you want to just stay there as long as you can. It makes sense, you know? There aren't a lot of rich people who are trying to no longer be rich.
Yeah.
Or even out everything. You know, they give to charity, but that's, you know...
They stay millionaires.
That's bullshit, yeah.
Yeah. This film, though, it doesn't entirely position itself against those on the upper levels either, though. It's kind of about what you yourself would do if you were on any given level.
Absolutely.
It does critique capitalism and socialism and everything, but there's no direct attack towards the upper level people, because in some ways you also kind of understand why they are the way they are.
Yeah, it's a great movie if you can empathize, because fuck, if I were in this, I like to say I could walk, talk the talk, but, like, I don't know, I'd be terrified.
Yeah.
You understand, you can't blame them for trying to look out for themselves. Because look at all the fear and hopelessness that is being manufactured around them. They're in desperation, and they're going to act as such.
Yeah, and just another way that it, you know, puts a little critique on socialism, too, is, like, when Goreng and Baharat do try and convince other prisoners to willingly share their food, they have to end up killing half of the people that they set out to help, because people will not willingly do it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fucked up.
It's very fucked up. Look, it's always weird when you start trying to justify murder. But if you look at pretty much every fucking institution of government that's ever existed has been because of, you know, murder. Someone has died in the name of a government to be established or a new order to be established. I don't think I have anything incredibly profound or helpful to say about it. It just is what it is. It fucking sucks. But it's another aspect that I understand. You know, if you are talking about the greater good, like we are really trying to fucking make things better for everyone, and people are actively standing in the way, I can understand the use for violence. The end.
So Kali is pro-murder, and...
Look, don't... Not pro-murder, but not always pro-murder. Murder's hard. You know, I don't... Yeah. I'm not going to get anywhere tonight with this.
So they decide they need to send a message to the workers on level 0.
Mm-hmm.
They want to try and alert them to something. At first, it's less clear.
This is where the movie's like, I could use a little more heavy-handedness with this. Like, I feel I understand, kind of get it, but like, go on. I can elaborate more as we go.
So at first, they decide they're going to preserve this beautiful panna cotta dessert. So they're going to keep it going down all the levels. They're going to save this panna cotta and send this perfect panna cotta back up on the plate. And then the workers upstairs will know something.
They'll know that they know.
On their way down, they are... smashing skulls. I mean, absolutely wrecking people.
Badass.
They find out that if nobody is alive on that level, then the platform doesn't stop. Which means that when Goreng determined the amount of levels based on the amount of time, then his math would have been off because he didn't know that. So there could be any number of levels, and now we just really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
There's just some like gruesome gore when we're going down.
Oh, it gets really fucking
bleak.
Yeah. I love a lot of gore, and this movie really delivers on gore.
It delivered, and it was good gore. I can't always watch gore, but I liked this one.
Yeah.
And we see the baby lady, the lady who was looking for her baby.
Yes.
Get murdered. And the two guys, I mean, they get pretty wrecked too.
Oh god, yeah.
When somebody's attacking Goreng, Baharat has to behead the man. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
And it's also interesting just going down all the levels, looking at the stuff that other people have brought, because everybody gets one thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's like, some people have weapons. Somebody has like a surfboard.
Yeah.
There's a man who's like rolling around in money. At one point, we pass a level with 2 prisoners sitting naked in a kiddie pool. Those are actually the script writers, David DeSola and Pedro Rivero.
Good for them.
Pretty funny.
Yeah, that rocks.
They get down to level 333. There's a little bit of symbolism here. Since there are 333 cell levels and there are 2 prisoners in every cell, total number of prisoners is 666, baby.
Insert
so
Iron Maiden right now.
we're in hell. On 333, we find the child, actually.
Yeah.
And according to numerology, the number 333 signifies answered prayers and a message from guardian angels to comfort you and remind you that you have the strength to keep going on your way.
Oh.
So a little bit of numerology in here, I guess. So we've now found the child that woman was looking for all this time, at the very bottom, and they have to give her the panna cotta. Because she's hungry too. And then they decide that the girl is going to be the message that they send up to the level 0 workers.
A stronger message than the panna cotta, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, you know, the woman who ran the place didn't even know that there were children in here or how deep this thing goes.
No.
So the people who are working up there certainly don't.
Or they are aware of it and they don't care, which
seems less likely.
Seems like
they probably don't know exactly what it's like in there.
Sure. Actually makes sense, yeah.
So the girl is the message.
Yep.
She kills Baharat, so it's just her and Goreng left. And I think they go down one more level to the bottom.
They descend to the bottom of the pit, yep.
Yeah. And the director said that to him, that lowest level doesn't exist, and that Goreng is dead before he arrives. That's just his interpretation of what he felt he had to do to get to the bottom.
Yeah.
And let this girl get to the top.
Sure.
Yeah, when they get to the bottom, he does get off of the platform and walk away with the ghost of his former roommate.
He and Tree, yeah.
And she floats back up to the top, and that's roll credits.
We done.
Yeah.
Tight 93.
Apparently they did shoot an alternate ending of the girl arriving at the first level, but they ended up taking it out because they wanted it to be more open to interpretation, whether the plan worked or if the higher-ups even care about what's going on down there. Yeah. Which I liked. I thought that was a good ending, maybe.
I appreciate it, yeah. I appreciated the use of ambiguity in that sense. I still feel mixed on the ending. I know I said I said I liked it. I don't know if I do.
And you lied.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easy, see?
Me and Kali had a
God.
pre-recording conversation about how I have a complex against lying, so...
Oh, boy.
Now you know, one of us is a liar, one of us is a truther. Yeah, so what are your thoughts on the ending? Or on any of it, I guess. Did we miss anything, or do you have more thoughts?
I'm just thinking over it. Ultimately, my differences with the movie are more personal, and that, like, I would have sent this instead. But that's kind of a moot point, because it doesn't matter.
What would you have sent?
I would have just gone up and killed, probably.
Mm.
But that's, violent and bad, ultimately, I think. I don't think it sets a good precedent. I don't know. It leaves me...
You would have abolished the prison.
I would have abolished the prison. Instead, they say, "We see you," as this but they couldn't. They literally could not. So they were fucking murked by the time they got to the bottom. So in lieu of that, I suppose, yeah, everything I just said is stupid. Yeah, cut all that, I guess.
Cut it or keep it. You can keep your thinking stuff out.
That's just me, like, processing it as we go.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's all right. It gets a pass from me. I really like this movie. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think it's a good movie. It does, like, bonk you over the head with what it's saying. And for me and you, who, like, have a general / intense understanding of, like, what they are trying to get people to think about, then it's not as necessary a movie for us. But I'm happy that it does exist.
I appreciate it. I appreciate its 94-minute runtime.
Sure.
You do not need to stretch this thing out.
No, and having the quick runtime and still throwing in entertainment for people who don't need to be bonked as hard with the message, like having the violence and the detailed visuals and everything,
It's an intense watch, but I still find it enjoyable.
No, I do too.
There is a lot of gore, though. If that's a deal breaker for you.
I'm saying that the gore and the other elements that are maybe separate from the message itself are what keep us from being bored when we already are informed about the message.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. You're so smart.
Am I?
Yeah. What are you giving it? I got nothing else.
I'm going to say 4 stars. I liked this movie. It was well done.
Yeah.
I love the actors. It was fun. It was scary. It was also funny. It had good gore. Cool story. Unique. I mean, it was very unique. And especially, like, creating all those visuals and everything. They really put some time in on this.
Yeah.
And,
I'm right there with you.
Yeah?
4 stars, baby.
Hell yeah.
Hey, we're a 4-star podcast.
We have Twinergy today, and safe to say we would both recommend as well, yeah?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Now it's time for ScreenVomit.
All right, baby. What else have you been watching?
Okay. I watched High Fidelity for the first time. That was pretty good. Never seen it start to finish. I'd seen, like, bits and pieces of it.
Okay.
I liked it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I watched She's Gotta Have It for Criterion Week.
Okay.
That ruled. I like that. That's a Spike Lee movie from 1986. Basically about a polycule.
Okay. Okay, go off.
It's basically about a polycule. Yep. And then I watched Stalker from 1979, the Andrei Tarkovsky movie, which I loved that. Oh, this day rocked. All in one day. Here we go. I watched 4 movies one day. She's Gotta Have It in the morning. Finished Stalker. Then, boom, out of Stalker into Speed.
Okay.
I give it 5 stars. I love it.
Okay.
Speed is so good.
Wait, had you never seen Speed before?
Oh, no, I was showed Speed as a child, fortunately.
Okay, yeah.
As every good child should be shown Speed around the age of 8 or 9. Because it's a concept that everyone can get. We all get it. The bus can't slow down.
Sure.
Then I watched The Stepford Wives from 2004 with Nicole Kidman and Matthew Broderick, which was better than I thought it would be.
Have you read the book?
I have not. Worth reading?
So it's been a few years, but I remember I saw the movie first and then read the book, and I remember finding the ending of the book to be dissatisfying because I liked the ending of the movie so much better.
Yeah.
But the book is good. I just didn't like the ending.
All right.
It's been a few years, so take that with a grain of salt, but that's what I remember.
Yeah. Then I watched Swimfan.
Oh my god.
Which is, please, watch Swimfan.
Oh my god.
Absolutely go out of your way to watch Swimfan because it is unhinged and it will remind you of 2002 is a way more cursed time than I think any of us really remember it being.
We've practically wiped it from the history books.
Yeah, 2002 to 2005, things were not good.
No. AKA my high school years.
Oh my god. Then, Lindsay and I have started diving into Miyazaki movies. Director Hayao Miyazaki from famously Studio Ghibli.
Okay.
So we started with My Neighbor Totoro, which I'd never seen, and fucking loved it. 5 stars. Pure good, love it. We watched Spirited Away. Pure good, love it. We watched 2 more that I'll reveal next week.
I've only seen one Miyazaki movie all the way through, I think, which is Howl's Moving Castle.
That's next on our list, I think. We've watched 4 in a row now. Miyazaki is probably the best director of all time. It's astonishing how...
I mean, he's very prolific, yeah.
It's just so nice how these movies make me feel. I just love them. I adore them so much, and I'm having a fucking blast watching through them, most of them for the first time.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. What have you been watching?
So those of you who follow us on Instagram will have seen that I've been doing a short film challenge. My goal is to watch 1 short film every day, and I always post it on Instagram in the stories. So I watched some really good shorts recently that I'd like to talk about.
Hell yeah.
Because I've watched some that are really good. And I made a Google Doc with links to some shorts in it for any normals who want to check out some really good shorts. It's in our link tree, which you can find in the show notes and on any of our social media. So if you want to watch good shorts, hit that doc. So a couple that I watched recently that I really recommend.
Okay.
One is called I Don't Dance, and it's a Brent Weinbach short, stars him, written by him, and also features pal of the pod, Andre Hyland.
Love it.
In the short. Yeah, which I was surprised to see him in there, but was so good. This short had me howling, laughing. It was so funny, and if you watch it twice, it's even funnier. It's fucking funny, and it's like 10 minutes long. Like, you have to watch it. It's so good. I Don't Dance, that one's called. And secondly, I've gotten really into this director, Kristoffer Borgli. Okay. He's done a whole bunch of shorts. I've watched several of them in the last week because I'm so fascinated by his style. He's like funny and also like kind of crazy. And his shorts are so good. Okay. So I'll just rattle off a couple that I watched this week. Softcore, very good. The Loser, A Place We Call Reality, and Ear are all very good, and I watched those recently. So I'm really fascinated by his style, so he has like 15 shorts. I'm working my way through them. Nice. And then one movie I watched this week, Coherence, which I think is a movie you have seen. Yeah.
Hell yeah. What'd you think?
I feel like I may have a different opinion than you did.
Okay.
Well, here's what I think. So Coherence, I think that the story is really cool. So it's like a sci-fi movie that has like a alternate dimensions type of storyline. Yeah. And I think that that's really cool and creative. I hate the style of it. Okay. Personally. I think it's not... Yeah. It's just not something I like because it's like, it's one of those where everyone's at a party and we're just kind of filming while everyone's talking at once constantly. I had a hard time keeping track of like who's dating who, and everyone there's a lot of like same. Yeah, because everyone looks the same. They have no discernible personality traits
except our bald bearded king.
Yeah, you know what? I guess that's what bothers me, is that no one has a personality or any traits to themselves.
No.
They all just kind of exist, and they all talk at the same time. A lot of times people say the same thing right after someone else just said it, which I find annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I couldn't tell the characters apart. And then they try to introduce these like, oh, someone's cheating on someone type stuff. And I'm like, I don't even know who they're cheating on. And I feel unaffected by it because I don't care about these people. You know? So I don't like the style or what they did with the characters, but I think the story is interesting. So I don't know. What do you do when that's the case?
No, you're totally right. The movie is not about its character development that much. The characters are more just vessels to posit a cool story.
Yeah, that's what I felt about Coherence.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Unfortunately, I have once again saved the bad thing for last, so...
Oh, hell yeah!
Check out my short film Google Doc. That's happy.
Hell yeah.
I think people should watch more short films because they're such an equalizer in a way, because they're so much more accessible than a feature, first of all. So, like, anybody can make a short film if they really want to. And you get a little bit more freedom with short films. Yeah. You can tell a much crazier story. And
true, you can make broader leaps.
They just can be so fun.
Absolutely.
I'm getting real big on short films. I wish people would watch more. And it's a couple minutes.
Respect.
You sit there, 10 minutes, you've watched a whole film that's like T to B. Very good, you know?
It's all about fucking accessibility, though. It's like not on people's radar or platforms.
True, which is why I made the Google Doc to help.
Yeah, that's really smart. And I plan on using that because, like, fuck, it's not on Netflix or whatever. It's not on HBO. I don't know where to find it.
Yeah, and that's, I think the key for most people, which is why I thought to make that doc.
You're so smart.
Helping to spread the word if I can. Thank you. Don't do a live theme song.
Okay, sorry.
So you have to follow us on Instagram. Let's be real. We are there and on all the other things at ScreenVomit, one word on everything.
Oh my God.
Give us a subscribe, rate and review. Can we get a review in this town? Okay, please. Yeah. Share the episodes. That's also very helpful. You can send us an email at screenvomitpod@gmail.com or tweet us with your thoughts on this movie or other movies or suggest a movie.
If you want to hear me talk about labor and work and all that bullshit, I got a podcast called How to Fire Your Boss. Check it out. It's up on all the stuff.
Hell yeah. And next week, we will be watching the 2012 film Tower, directed by Kazak Radwanski, which is free on Tubi or Amazon Prime. And we'll be joined by another very special guest. I'm so excited.
Oh, hell yeah.
So make sure you pick the right Tower, because there are several movies called Tower.
Yeah.
Directed by Kazak Radwanski, okay?
2012.
There actually are two from 2012.
Motherfucker.
Movies called Tower, so that's why I'm being so specific. It's on Tubi or Amazon, okay? Anyway, thanks for listening, folks. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.